How's it going? So last time I left you guys with part one, it's about a year ago. Years and change now, actually. I recorded that about a year and some change ago, and I released it 8 months ago. So, movie magic. This is going to be the continuation of that video. The reason why this one took so long is because of the fact that some of my clips got deleted. Really, they were corrupted and I couldn't recover them. So all this time I was actually trying to just figure out different ways to recover the clips because they were actually important. Since that time, the car has gone through a lot of changes. It doesn't look like it, but it does. And those videos will be uploaded as I recorded them. I recorded everything, and I've actually already been, I've already got quite a few of them edited. It was just a matter of trying to fix this one before I did the other ones. That way it was in a nice digestible order. And, you know, it was just finishing things as they go on. Of the clips that were deleted, it was the intro, which was important because that's some information there, but I'll just go through it real quick. Basically drilling that hole out for the stud to put in to have 3 points of contact on the idler gear. All I did was drill it about 10 millimeters in, as straight as I could, which wasn't hard. I have a level on the drill. And I actually pulled up the condenser to do it. So I didn't actually remove my AC or anything. I just pulled it up, made sure it was level with the level I had on top of the engine. That way they were, because the engine sits at an angle, it's not straight. So you gotta, you know, angle the drill bit. That way it's nice and good. And then I also have one of those cones that go over it that like square away the drill bit. So everything was straight. It went in no problem. It's M8 by 1.25. I Loctited it with red Loctite, made sure everything was clean, ran a thread tracer through it, and sent it. So in this video, you're basically going to see how we adjust the lash, it's really like how much it moves in. So yeah, I guess lash, whatever. And it was a bit of a lengthy process, but hopefully it's condensed enough for you to be able to see it. And I did leave a good amount of it in there, that way you can essentially see in real time, you know, me doing it, trying things out. So yeah, now without further ado, let's check it out.
Okay, so this is kind of the important part, and this is why you need the dial gauge as well as the little mount. So they don't measure lash with like the traditional little feeler gauge, right? With this, you're kind of measuring almost run out, but more realistically just how much it moves. So we got the dial gauge zeroed, and for the bottom, for this gear, they want 3/600 of a millimeter. So what we're gonna do is, it's in there, I got it as close as I can to 90 degrees off of the wheel, so it measures, you know, the distance, and we'll see. So right here, we moved it, so the zero changed. I want it to be as close as possible. There. And I do have it compressed already, so this isn't just like free. I've pushed it in and then put it on the gear. That way it's under some kind of compression, so we'll get a little more of an accurate reading and no slack. So moving this, it goes from 0 to about, now it's at 1. So it goes from about 1 to 8, so that's 7. So that's too much. That's really too much. So what I'll do here is I'll go in again with this guy. I'll loosen up these 2 bolts, and I'll keep finagling it around until I can get it to sit between 0.3 and 0.6, which is, or 0.03, 0.06, which is really tight. This is gonna directly correlate to the timing, how off it'll be, and how stable it's gonna be, as well as the noise. Because if this is too big, you know, you're gonna hear it. pretty heavily. So we want to get it right where it's supposed to be. That way we're well within the limits of where this was meant to be run. So I'm gonna keep going at it, and when I get it, we'll see how it looks. Okay, so after a little bit there, I loosened them up just a hair and just kept knocking it back until it was kind of within where it wants to be. It's at 0. If I move it, that's 3 exact. So you can kind of see on the dial gauge just moving back and forth. If I move it, that's where these want to be, and that's the tightest tolerance this will allow. And honestly, I am rather cool with that, because I want it to be tight, and I want to keep the noise down. I still want to hear this, but I don't want it to sound like a cat in a damn blender. So I think we're right where we want to be. If anything, I'll loosen it just a hair. That way it's 35 between 3 and 4. Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to tighten it down. Check it again. So now I went back a little bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's pretty loose, so I want to go back and tighten this up just a hair. So now we're at 1, 2, 3. So now 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. So yep, pretty much just gonna keep going back and forth with it. That clearly moved, you can see it, but I don't exactly have this all the way tight. So I'm just gonna slowly tighten it up, measure, tighten, measure, and keep going with it like that until she's happy. So that's my new 0 because I moved it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Too much. And you can hear it too. So we want to tighten that up a little bit. So just gonna keep going with this and tighten her up. Then we'll drill and tap that little hole over there, and she'll be installed. Okay, so after messing with this for a decent amount of time now, I've got it right where it needs to be. So if I rotate this, you can kind of see the play is really minimal, but it is there. That's where she wants to be. And just like that, we have the stud in there. So we got all 3 screws holding it down. If you're wondering how the hell I managed to do that, well, it wasn't without a few sacrifices. So I had to pull the grill off, had to pull the center support off, had to loosen up the hood latch so that way I can take my condenser and pull it up a little bit. I unbolted it from the front panel here so I could, move this around, and got it just enough that way I can fit the drill in here. It started with a small bit, went up to the big bit, tapped it, and there she is. So now realistically it's just a matter of sticking this whole thing back together. There's already black gasket maker behind that for the holes. That's fine. Those are right there ready to get torqued down. So per the instructions, it's like 28.9 something. I'm just gonna do it at 30 foot-pounds. That way it's an equal 30 all the way around. So it's got a nice good hold on it. And then we'll slap the new gasket on the timing cover, put it all together, and have it slapped on. Of course, I'll put a little bit of oil on all the gears before we start it up. I have I'm using 1040 full synthetic, and I also have the Lucas zinc additive. So that's gonna go over these guys, and then we will be good to go. So sweet, we are almost done. Okay, so some honorable mentions here before I seal everything back up. Every single screw and stud that's holding down the idler pulley as well as that idler gear, I torqued to 30 foot-pounds. I also put 3 towels underneath the block and had a vacuum running when I did drill and tap the block to try and take care of as much debris as possible. Before I put the cover back on as well, I did run a magnet through the oil, so cleaned up the magnet, like one of those little screw reacher things. Cleaned it up as much as possible. There was no debris on it whatsoever. Ran that through the oil, skimmed the top surface, skimmed everything, and picked up as much debris as I could. It did pick up a few pieces, even though I had 3 towels underneath and the vacuum and everything running. So this just goes to show that even though I took a lot of precautions, some stuff did fall into the oil, and I picked up basically as much as I can. I will be doing an oil change after this, just for safety. The oil is actually pretty fresh. It's only got about 1,000 miles on it. Gonna change the oil anyways, because you never know. I also took some of my motor oil, new oil of course, and put it on the gears. That way they are lubricated going into it and they're not completely dry. I'll show you exactly what it looks like now, but these are just a few things that I did before final assembly. Of course, cleaning everything with a razor and some cleaner to get all the old gasket material off, make sure everything's nice and dry and clean. New gaskets, new seals, the whole 9. Don't want any leaks, and definitely don't want anything to go wrong internally. So without further ado, this is just what it looks like right before we put the timing cover on. One last look. Everything is torqued in place. Everything is good to go. The lash is still perfect. And you can see that I do have a good film of oil all over the gears. Yes, I know when I started, the oil is going to fling all over the place. That's okay. It is inside of the timing cover. I just want to make sure that everything is wet on the first start, not just dry gears going crazy in there. I do have a little bit of assembly lube in between the mesh surfaces just for the hell of it. I just want to make sure that these are coated up, torqued down, clean, and ready to go when we start the car. So let's finish her up. And just like that, we have everything bolted back up with movie magic. Timing cover's on, all the belts are on, tensioner's on, everything is tight. This is stone freaking cold. Got a little bit of stuff in there. Yeah, no, that's stone cold. All right, so everything's kind of bolted up. I already checked everything up. Did the crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's. Put a little bit of coolant in there because, well, we did lose a little bit of coolant. So let's start it up. Again, cold as hell. Let's just start it and see what happens. Again, we're looking good. I just want to see what happens here. So no pumps of gas, no nothing. I just want to see if I got my timing right, if it coughs or something. So let's go. Oh shit. It just started. Sweet. Yeah, that's a cold start. That's a cold ass start. So I sort of heard the gears, but right now I don't hear anything. Just the fan and the carbs. So at idle, you don't really hear the gears at all. Oh, now we do. So you can hear it inside more than outside. I'm okay with that for right now. So we are also in a garage, so you're gonna hear it a little more here than what you would outside. We'll play with that. Sweet. And that's a wrap. So even the outro got a little messed up, but it is what it is. In the next video, I gotta see what I have lined up, but it's already done, so I'll post it soon. I'll definitely put some videos driving it around, listening to it. I think I should have quite a few clips of it just hooning around on the carbs. So that's that. She's still around. She's still alive somehow. And I'm gonna keep dishing them out. As of recent, I do now have an Instagram page, an active Instagram page to go play around with. I'll have like more updates on there of things I do and so on and so forth. It's Manta, like a manta ray, manta_racing.ig. And if you know me, I do a lot of my dealing on the Manta Racing, so that's what that is. So definitely check it out. Take it easy, guys. It's good to see you again. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, do what you want. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.